After the shock last night of a Prime Minister taken into intensive care with the life-threatening symptoms of coronavirus, today, cautious optimism here at London's famous St Thomas's Hospital, across the river from the Houses of Parliament. A PM reported as stable, yes, needing oxygen, but not mechanical or intrusive ventilation. Which is reassuring because, as these pictures show, the Prime Minister looked increasingly exhausted in the days after he went into quarantine with a fever and cough on 27th of March. So here he is, the Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab, who's been asked to temporarily fill Boris Johnson's shoes at this time of national crisis.
He's not just the Prime Minister. For all of us in Cabinet, he's not just our boss. He's also a colleague and he's also our friend. So all of our thoughts and prayers are with the Prime Minister at this time, with Carrie and with his whole family. And I'm confident he'll pull through. Because if there's one thing I know about this Prime Minister, he's a fighter. And he'll be back at the helm, leading us through this crisis in short order.
But in the meantime, does Dominic Raab really have the power? You didn't quite say that you feel confident that if you had to make a change of direction and you weren't able to communicate with the Prime Minister, would you have the confidence in doing that?
I've got total confidence in the arrangements that the Prime Minister has put in place so that I can discharge the responsibility for him, deputising for him while he's out of action. And obviously, we hope that will be for a very limited period of time.
Meanwhile, Boris Johnson's predecessor thinks this improvised approach to government will work.
I know from everything I've seen and heard that cabinet, which is supported by excellent scientific advice, by a first-class civil service, they're absolutely committed to dealing with this crisis.
But not quite so much stiff upper lip from the world's most powerful person.
I've gotten to know him. He's just such an incredible guy. It was just so shocking to see that, because you know what that means. Intensive care is a big deal with regard to what we're talking about. That's a very big deal, very scary deal.
But our own head of state, the Queen, sent a message to the Johnson family and to his partner, Carrie Symonds. She said they were in her thoughts and that she wished the Prime Minister a full and speedy recovery. This former Prime Minister has known the current one for decades.
Well, Boris is very resilient, he's tough. Also, he's got a tremendous zest for life and for getting things done and for leading and for taking decisions. I know he'll want to get well and to get back in charge again, and that's what we all want for him, and we're hoping and praying that that's the case, and that's the case very soon.
The word irony doesn't begin to describe that a Prime Minister charged with protecting us from coronavirus has been hospitalised by it. And it matters to all of us that his current incapacity doesn't undermine that collective national effort to defeat the virus. Robert Peston, ITV News.